The Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton. Chapter 15. The Saucepan Man goes to the wrong land. Mother and the children stared at the strange old saucepan man as he came in at the gate. He wore an extra large size saucepan for a hat, and as he came, he knocked 2 pans together and sang an odd nonsense song that went like this. 2 beans for a pudding, 2 cherries for a pie, 2 legs for a table with a high diddle high. At the last high, he banged on the door with a saucepan. Mother opened it. "Don't make such a noise," she said. "Oh, no, I haven't seen any boys," said the saucepan man, and he clashed his pans together so loudly that Mother jumped. Then he caught sight of the children and waved to them eagerly. "Oh, there you are. Moonface told me where you lived." "Whoever is he?" said Mother in wonder. "Children, is this strange old man all right?" "Oh, yes," said Joe, hoping that Mother wouldn't ask too many questions. Can we take him into the garden, Mother? He makes such a noise indoors." "Very well," said Mother, who did want to get on with her washing. "Take him along." "A song?" said the saucepan man obligingly. "Did you say you wanted a song, madam?" And he began to sing again and crashed his pans in time to his song. 2 pigs for the pigsty, 2 shoes for the horse, 2 hats for the tigers, pink ones, of course. The children bustled him into the back garden. "That's a very, very silly song of yours," said Beth loudly right in his ear. "What's it called?" "Oh, it hasn't got a name," said the saucepan man. "I make it up as I go along. It's quite easy. Every line but the last one begins with the word to. I'm sorry you think it's silly." He looked rather offended. Then suddenly he smiled again and said, "I've come to ask you all for tea in my cottage." Will Mr. What's-his-name be there?" asked Joe, who wasn't at all keen to meet him again. "Oh, yes, you'd better brush your hair," said the saucepan man, looking at Joe's untidy hair. "No, I said, will Mr. What's-his-name be there?" said Joe loudly. "Something in the air?" said the saucepan man as he looked up anxiously. "Oh, not a thunderstorm, I hope." "No, I certainly don't mean a thunderstorm," said Joe with a groan. "Oh, yes, we'll come, but we must ask Mother first." Mother said they could go, though she still thought that the old saucepan man was very loud and, a little bit annoying. "Good day," she said to him as he and the children went off. He really was a most peculiar sight. But he had such a twinkly sort of face that the children couldn't help liking him and, trusting him. They soon came to the faraway tree and saw that Moonface had thought of a marvellous idea. He'd borrowed Dame Washalot's biggest washing basket and let it down on a rope. Then, as soon as they were all safely in it, he and Silky meant to haul them up to save them the long, long climb. "Oh, that's a really good idea," said Joe, delighted. They all climbed in. It was a bit difficult to get Saucepan Man in too, but they managed it at last, though he seemed to find it most uncomfortable to sit on his saucepans. "Up we go!" shouted Joe as the basket swung upwards through the branches. It ran very smoothly, and the children enjoyed the strange ride very much. At last they came to a big branch and stepped out on it. It was quite near Moonface's house at the top. Moonface was there, winding up the rope with a grin on his big shining face. "How did you like that?" he asked. The saucepan man looked up at him anxiously. "Cat?" he said. "Another cat? Oh, dear me, I hope it won't escape into my land. I've got mice there." "Oh, no, now he'll go looking for cats again," said Beth. And sure enough, the saucepan man began to peer here and there, calling, "Puss, puss, puss." "Oh, never mind him," said Moonface. "Go on, up the ladder. He wants you to go to tea with him in his funny saucepanny house." "Come on, Saucepan Man," called Joe. "If you want us to come to tea, we'd better go." The saucepan man heard. He stopped looking for cats and ran up the ladder. With a bound, he was through the hole in the cloud and right above. And no sooner had he gone out of sight than he began to yell. Oh, 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 oh. The children listened in alarm. Whatever's the matter? Said Joe. Crash, bang, clash, smash. Oh, no, he sounds as if he's rolling about on all his kettles and saucepans, said Beth. What can he be doing? Oh, ow, shouted the Saucepan Man above them. Stop it, ow, stop it. Someone must be attacking him, cried Joe. He leapt up the ladder. Come on, everyone, we'll soon send any enemies off. He shot up the ladder, followed by Beth and Franny and Moonface. They all clambered through the hole in the clouds and stood in the land above. But, oh my goodness me, it was no longer the land of the Saucepan Man, that tiny little cloud-edged country. No, it was another land altogether. My land's gone, shrieked the Saucepan Man. I didn't know it had. Oh, this is somewhere else. Oh, no wonder he said, ooh. The bit of flat field he was standing on suddenly gave a shiver like a jelly, and then just as suddenly tipped itself up so that it made a hill. The Saucepan Man rolled down it at top speed, all his hands clattering like cymbals. Oh no, this is the rocking land, said Moonface in dismay. Quick, come back to the ladder and get down the hole before we've forgotten where it is. Hey, Saucepan Man, come over here to us. Bus? Did you say bus? Shouted the Saucepan Man, picking himself up and looking around. I can't see a bus. Oh, I'd like to catch one though. Come here to us, to us, to us, shouted Joe in despair. The hole through the clouds is here. We must get back again quickly. The Saucepan Man began to run downhill to them, but the ground all around suddenly tipped backwards, and he and the children and Moonface found themselves running downhill away from the hole in the clouds where the precious ladder was. They tried to stop. They tried to walk back up the sudden hill, but the land tipped up all the more, and in the end they couldn't stand up. They had to lie down. Oh, then they began to roll downhill. Oh, and how they rolled over and over and over and over, and the Saucepan Man made a dreadful clatter with all of his pans. Oh, ow, ow, oh, cried everyone. We've lost the hole, shouted Joe. But before he could say any more, he bumped into a bush that knocked all of the breath out of him. Soon everyone lay in a heap at the bottom of the hill and tried to get their breath back. Oh, now we're in a fix, said Beth, dusting herself. Oh, what a very tiresome land to have got into. Does it do this sort of thing all the time, Moonface? Oh, yes, said Moonface. It never stops. It heaves up here and sinks down there and rocks to and fro and gives sudden little jumps. Oh, people do say there's a giant just underneath, trying to throw the land off his back. And that is the end of chapter 15. So they are in rather a funny land, aren't they? Would you like to go to that land? How do you think you'd feel if you suddenly found yourself in a land that tipped up and down and moved all around? Oh dear. And what do you think will happen to them when they're there? Do you think they'll ever manage to get out? How are they going to do it if the land keeps moving around? What would you do? How would you get back to the ladder? Well, we'll find out what happens to them in the next chapter. Bye-bye.